Hello traders and investors, welcome back to the Trend Trader channel. In today's video, we're gonna be giving you a summary of what happened in the market last week. We know that we had a video where we spoke about the most anticipated earnings that we were expecting last week, and then there were potential trade levels that we were looking for in some companies. So in today's video, we're gonna look at how Netflix and Tesla performed after their earnings release, and also we're gonna be looking at Meta Platforms and Alphabet to see where are the trading opportunities in those companies. And then we'll also look at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq market to see where we think the market is going. Before we start, for those who haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and if you find value in this video, please make sure that you smash that like button. So we're gonna start with Netflix. They were releasing their Q4 of financial year 2023 financial year. So there are some things that were worth interesting here when you're looking at the Netflix result. One of those things was the growing number of Netflix paid membership. We saw that it was growing, and also we saw that Netflix signed an agreement with WWE to bring Raw into Netflix. So that was something that was sort of a positive catalyst for the stock, and then we saw that the stock it started to climb higher. But to see that how high the stock climbed and what we saw from technical, let us look at the chart of Netflix. As you see here, Netflix has been consolidating around this level. Okay, so initially we just highlighted this. For those that watched the previous video, we highlighted this area here because that was one of the highs that we had seen in the previous years. So what we're expecting is that if there was going to be a positive news from Netflix, chances are Netflix was going to try and test those levels. So before the earnings release, we know that Netflix was sort of in an uptrend since somewhere around May 2022, and then even in 2023, although there was that pullback there, but it still maintained or managed to maintain a positive momentum after October 2023. So we've been looking at this stock. This was our previous resistance level here. We're just waiting for the stock to break above this level to initiate another long position, of which it happened. Then the stock it's just started to consolidate there. So what we're expecting with positive news, we're expecting Netflix either to break below this level or to break above this level, but also noting these previous highs in there. So fortunately, when the earnings they came out, they were positive, or the market interpreted them as positive, and then we saw Netflix smashing this level up there. So now where to from here? We can say that we're expecting Netflix to try at least to come and retest this level here. So this is a level of somewhere around $700 per share. However, we're not expecting that it would just be a straight move. I mean, if it becomes a straight move, we'll be happy with that move as well. But since we are at this potential resistance level here, we might expect a bit of a consolidation before the price push up there to reach that 700 level. So at this moment, we are happy with Netflix result. We are also happy with the setup, the technical setup on Netflix, because now you see you can use a combination of technical analysis and the earnings report then there to make to try and make a position around those numbers. So there are some things that you can follow this website app Economy Insight, but there's also a Twitter handle that you can follow there so that you can get these figures or this visualization, because we believe that they are nice, they are helpful, and then you can also subscribe there to receive all these things whenever they release them. Okay, now moving on, one stock that did not perform well after the earnings release was Tesla. From the results perspective, we did not see anything wrong. By that we mean we see that Tesla did grow its revenue on that quarter 4 of 2023. The revenue grew up by 3% if you look at year on year, but it's a 25 billion revenue there. And then you can see the net profit, it's about 7.9 billion. However, people were making comments that without this tax benefit of 5.8 billion, then the operating profit would have been just about 2.1 billion there. It would have been far less. But now you can see that Tesla has a nice 32% margin, and then it's about a 16 percentage point year-on-year growth compared to the previous year, which is the full year of 2022. But here what we see that Tesla is able to produce more cars, and they can sell more cars. They are able to generate revenue from their business, and they are receiving a nice net profit there. However, the market did not like these numbers, and then we saw Tesla stock getting hammered after their earnings release. So now, was it surprising? No, it was not surprising, because also on the previous video we spoke about this level in here, where we're looking at how Tesla might behave. So you can see here we had this resistance level. We mentioned that if there is a positive news, then we can expect Tesla to break above this level. However, Tesla was already in a downward momentum. You can see in the previous week, and you can also see that there was a lot of selling that was happening there. So another level to keep in mind was this potential support level here. So now, as the earnings day came, people interpreted them as negative. The share price it broke down before the market opened. Just before the earnings release, Tesla was trading around $200 per share. Then it opened the following day somewhere around $189. So there was a $10 price gap there that we saw happening. So now where to from here with Tesla? You can already see that it's still in sort of a bearish momentum, but there's this level somewhere around let's see what's this level. So this level is somewhere around $160. So that is where we'll be watching Tesla if it continue with the downward momentum. So we'll be waiting to see what happens at this level. A good case scenario is that Tesla, it comes to this level, it finds support, and then it tries to bounce up. At this moment, there is no need to do anything. We don't have a position. We're just going to wait and see if indeed Tesla is going to find support here at this level. But if you look across the EV spectrum, it's not just Tesla that is struggling alone. We saw that the other Chinese car maker NIO is also struggling. It's been on a bearish momentum for a long time, since somewhere around March 2021, and there's this level here, the pre-IPO level. You can see that NIO is trading from that around that IPO opening price. And then also it's the similar situation with Rivian Automotive. It is also in a downward momentum. Again, if you look at Lucid, it's also in a downward momentum. As you can see, Lucid has lost a lot of money in the market. It is currently trading at $2.65. So there's a lot that is happening there in the EV. But remember, according to Elon Musk, Tesla, it's not a car manufacturer, it's a tech company. So maybe they will be able to leverage other sectors within Tesla to try and recover the business itself, and ultimately recover the share price. So now looking at companies that performed well in terms of technical analysis, and where we're trying to find trading opportunities, let us look at Meta Platforms. So we saw Meta Platforms after it bottomed around $90. It has been up nicely. Now it's up just over 300%. You can see there were a lot of moving up with some bit of hold, and then another move up, and then with another resistance level. It happens whenever the share price is going up or down, it is always going to take a breather before it continues with the major trend at that particular time. So now what we're looking at here on Meta platforms, we saw that the previous high of somewhere around $380, that is the level that we're keeping an eye on. So we already had a position on Meta platform. However, as we saw that this week, it created a new all-time high, and there is a decent amount of volume there, so we added onto our existing position. We expect the market to continue to move up there. There is no target. We don't know how high it can go. Also, at some point during the year, Meta platforms is also going to release its earnings. So how those earnings are going to be, it is going to affect the direction of the share price. It can either push it further up, or it can bring it can make it to cause a bit of a pullback. But from a technical perspective, we are happy with Meta platforms. We expect it to continue to move high. Another stock that formed a similar price action is Alphabet. So most of the time when we speak about Alphabet, we are talking about class A, and the one with the L at the end there. The same rationale for taking a position here is similar to Meta platforms. We saw Alphabet breaking above that level, creating a new all-time high with a decent amount of volume. So then we initiated a long position here. We're also anticipating that the share price is going to continue to move further up. However, again, do keep in mind that the company is still gonna release its earnings, so those earnings, they might affect the share price. So now, why do we believe, or why do we like buying this kind of a setup? If you look at a company such as Broadcom, we did buy a breakout last year when the share price broke above this level. It happened with a decent amount of volume, and at that time it was an all-time high. Again, when the share price consolidated above this level, we did took another position. As you can see, it did make another consolidation, but now if you compare the frequency of this breakout, it has been happening rapidly. Now that means that the share price has been moving up nicely and quicker. But now we saw that it formed this pin here. So we don't trade chart patterns per se. Like for example, if you look at this bearish here, other people might expect that the share price is going to go down in the few upcoming weeks. We're not anticipating that. However, if you just draw a line here at this breakout level, then you can say if Broadcom does a pullback and close below this level, if you are long, or if you had a buy position, then you can consider either reducing the size of your position or closing that position for a profit. So there are so many ways that you can ensure that you lock in the profit once you have made that profit in your position. So now, again, like I said, some companies, they performed well, some companies did not perform well. But now, how did the S&P 500 perform? For the most part of the week, we saw that the S&P 500, it also printed a new all-time high, even though on Friday, just before Friday close, it did pull back a bit. If you look at the percentage change there, it's about 0.07, which is relatively insignificant. Same thing can be said with the Nasdaq. It also had a nice week. Remember, we are still playing this cup and handle here. We've been having this position for quite some time now, so we are not worried about this. We know that there will be pullbacks along the way, but if you look at the rate of change, there is just about 0.5%, so it's not a significant change. We will see how the market is going to perform in the upcoming week. So that's it that we wanted to share with you today. Just a quick recap on Netflix and Tesla, and then to look at Meta platforms and Alphabet to see where we're going to find trade opportunities, and then to look at the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you subscribe and you smash that like button. On our next video, we'll be covering the anticipated earnings for the upcoming week, and to see which companies we are planning to trade, especially after they release their earnings. It could be companies where we already have positions, or companies where we are looking to initiate positions. So that's it for today. We will see you on the next video.